Hello everyone, this is Kodak giving you Game 2 in a series between Huck and Moon here on Shakuras Plateau. This was taken from Dreamhack. I always like casting games with Moon since I have been following Moon for quite some time. Those of you guys who have been subscribed to my channel for more than a year and a half know that I do cast Warcraft 3 games as well. Moon, a very, very well-known Korean Warcraft 3 player, playing Night Elf and now transferring to StarCraft 2. I believe he's still part of We Made Fox, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, I think he's part of We Made Fox, or last time I checked, he was part of We Made Fox. As Moon now just mining away, we are going for a proxy pylon, it looks like. No, it's not a proxy pylon, just an early scouting probe, as it just felt abnormally fast. As the probe now making its way across the map, we'll be able to walk up that ramp in just a moment, take a look around, see that the Zerg is not there, and then head off to the, 7 or 8 o'clock position where the blue moon has spawned. So yeah, blue moon, I'm not going to break out in the song, as Liquid Huck spawning as the red Protoss on the top right hand side of the map. We are most likely going to see a Forge fast expansion here by Huck, and we'll see what Moon tries to do. Moon could either go for a fast expansion of his own or try to go for more of a all-in one base play. A one base play, it does work out well sometimes for a Zerg player, just because if the Protoss player tries to expand too quickly and is not able to do very much, he will not have that many units. And if those, I believe if those roaches are able to shut down those cannons and deal damage towards the gateways before those before any additional reinforcements come in, then it's going to be a rather difficult time. You can see Huck once again doing that annoying mining trick. You can see that the probe is just purposely mining, and he finally actually grabs 5 minerals, and Huck now backing off with those minerals as well. One of the benefits of having a probe holding those minerals is that it can mineral path, as the probe now trying to get some damage onto one of Moon's drones. An Overlord now in play, as a spawning pool should be completed in just a moment as well. Extractor still about 40 gas away from being able to get that metabolic boost, as the probe now finally backs off. We are getting a Nexus here, a Forge, and a Gateway now warping in as well, sitting at 18/18. So he is going to be supply locked for a little bit of time there. So Huck sacrificing his economy in order to get a Nexus. I know that doesn't make that much sense, as the Nexus will be able to train up more probes, but he's going to delay a little bit of his economy in order to get that Nexus up and running. A Forge is now up, a cannon will get up in just a moment, and a cannon, and right there with 2 gateways, more than enough to fend off this very, very early Zergling harassment. An Overlord now trying to make its way in as well. We'll see what's going to come around with that, as we are no longer mining any gas. So Moon now just trying to get as many minerals as he can. Get the metabolic boost on the Zerglings has been started, and now about halfway completed, as the cannon about to finish warping in as well. You can see the Zergling now trying to chase after this one particular probe. That probe's days are pretty much numbered at this stage, as Moon tries to walk up the ramp, unable to do so, and Huck with a gateway canceled it, and now warping in a cybernetics core to finish off his critical building there and not fall too far behind, making sure also that the Zerglings were not able to run by. In comes one probe, but the probe gonna get slashed apart by the queens. There it goes. So another queen already hatched up. Moon may set down a creep tumor, and now linking the 2 bases of creep so he can transfer units rather quickly. Hatchery is already coming into play. 1 photon cannon blast hitting the Zergling down to 16 hit points, as it naturally regenerates some hit points there. Huck, meanwhile, sitting on 2 base play, while we see a very fast expansion by Moon going into 3 base play. So it will be 3 base play by Moon compared to the 2 base play by Huck. And with Huck only sitting inside 2 bases, he's going to have to build up a very strong army to try and counter what he sees here. We are also getting some drones now mining away as well. We are still not getting any gas really, so Moon just getting as many minerals as possible. That was the reason why he was able to establish this early hatchery so quickly, and now power droning his way into the mid game, as we shouldn't see any action anytime soon. A sentry trying to shoo off an Overlord there. He sees the probe saturation, decent probe saturation, as more and more probes are still being added. 37, 38 probes overall between the 2 bases there. Meanwhile, we are sitting at 36 drones with another power drone underway. So 5 more drones once again being hatched. Are we going to get another queen over there perhaps? It doesn't look like it, as I don't see any. Oh, another queen is being trained, but it's going to take quite some time to be able to get off into this position. Perhaps a queen will be trained over here, as by the time Moon's queen walks over there, I think it would be pretty much done, as the queens walk relatively slowly. And now drones transferring off once more, so you can see the queen now going to lay down a creep tumor and then start walking across this narrow, or this wide gap here. By the time it gets over there, it probably would have been about 20 game seconds, as that queen does move very, very slowly, twice the speed of an overlord, which is really not that fast. Huck now taking down his own forge. So with that forge now gone, he will be able to move out rather easily, and you can see 5 gateways. Is this another 5 gateways and another forge being rebuilt, and now going into a Twilight Council? This may be stalkers, so mass stalkers coming in off of 5 gate, as we now are getting another pylon here and another just large army of sentries. So this army of 8 sentries gathering as much energy as possible, making its way out, and will be able to get a lot of damage in just a moment. Queens back over here and over here, both spawning larvae. We're going to get a large number of units. Moon responding correctly to the large number of units that he saw, and now deciding to push out. Huck does not know about this expansion here, but he perhaps suspects it, and now is getting an expansion of his own at the 9-minute mark. So both players playing very aggressively, trying to expand and take map and mineral control, and being able to just attack with a larger army. So far, no real engagements as of yet. We are now getting the level 1 weapons upgrade, blink, and more stalkers. Meanwhile, stalkers cleaning up the Zerglings at the Zelnaga towers there, and now Moon is pretty much playing in the dark once more. We are getting a lot more Zerglings and more Roaches. Glio reconstitution needs to be completed. Otherwise, those Roaches are not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Blink Stalkers at all. One Roach now walking down. It is going to take a bit of damage, but the rest of the Roaches and Zerglings now trying to come in as well. The Stalkers don't really have anywhere to go. A Queen now joining in on that slashing. Down goes one, and this one particular Stalker down to 59 hit points. Perhaps he was hoping that the Blink would complete in time, but it does not. So those 2 scouting stalkers have been easily destroyed. You can see back over here, Huck is now finished expanding. He will be getting some additional photon cannons to act as natural defense, but his army is rather gas intensive. The problem with sentries, if you can actually say that they have a problem, is that they don't deal that much damage. They only deal 6 damage per second, so and they are a very expensive unit, but their force fields and their spells and abilities definitely make up for it, as we are now seeing an army of Roaches and Roaches once again pushing out. The Roaches looking to push forward and get some damage. 157 compared to 99, a 50% food advantage as both sides are battling it out. Roaches continuing to push in and now going to do a nice flank. All the sentries are essentially low on hit points. The Stalkers really have nowhere else to go, as they're just stuck in between 2 places already. Stalkers now blinking up onto that high ground, as the Roaches are just barreling their way through. You can see production off of 3 hatcheries. So many units. Stalkers still up on that high ground there, and it looks like the Zerglings are going to be able to get some damage onto that 1 photon cannon. Down it goes, and this is an issue as well, as the Roaches are now just swarming and infesting the Protoss base. Huck, I do not believe, was ready for this timing attack by Moon, and completely catching Moon off guard as well. Probes are trying to run back home, but unable to do so, and a lot of workers have been killed. Both sides just dealing damage back and forth, and I did not mean to do that, even though it does look very cool. 22 workers killed already, as both sides continuing to just exchange blow after blow. And now the Roaches are going after those Stalkers. Stalkers are trying to blink back and forth, but the Roaches are going to be able to focus down those units rather easily. Taking a look at the army composition, we still have a large trail of units most likely coming in from Moon. And yeah, Moon's still just rallying straight into the base, and Huck has to say GG. So Moon taking game 2 in this series. Stay tuned for game 3. Really well played by Moon. Just timing it, being able to get that 3rd base, a very macro intensive map. One of the downfalls of a Protoss player trying to wall off and forge expand into his natural is that the Zerg can easily take that 3rd base on Shakuras Plateau. Unlike on the other map, say Tall Dream Altar, where it's not a full 3rd base, or it's not a full 3rd base, or there's rocks in the way to try to slow down the hatchery. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And yeah, game 3, just go ahead and watch it next.